All right, I think we'll get started. Thank you everybody for coming out today. And for those who are online for joining, this is A2NewTech. If this is your first time, welcome. Appreciate you coming out to support your Michigan startup ecosystem. I am Hein Lam, I'm your host. So I co-own a branding and Webflow development studio here in Ann Arbor called Huck Finch. And we like to start things off in A2NewTech with a poll that I can actually start on my phone. So the poll, it's going to be for the people online right now, but I'll tell you what the options are and then have you guys raise your hands. So the options are entrepreneur wanting to start a venture, an investor, marketer, designer, software developer, or other. So with that, I'm going to launch it for everybody online to fill out their options. Let everybody here have a second to think about their answer. All right, gonna give you guys another few seconds over here. Okay, I'll end the poll now. Share the results. So we've got a good split here. We've got a couple entrepreneurs, someone looking to start a venture. So maybe you'll be inspired by our presentations tonight. A software developer and a couple of others. So for those who put other, feel free to add into the chat what you would have put if you had the option. And for everybody else in the room here, we'd love to find out who you all are as well. So entrepreneurs in the room. Cool. All right, most of the room in here. Anybody looking to start a venture? Any investors? All right. Marketers? Got one in here. Any designers? Software developers? Cool. Got a couple. And other, I think that would be you guys from the forum. So cool. Awesome. So thank you for indulging the poll. The reason why we like to do it is because not only are you all interested in the startup ecosystem in Michigan, and particularly here in Ann Arbor, Washtenaw County, but it goes to show that those who are involved in this community are vast, and the big part of A2NewTech is building those connections, which is why we like to host it at forum here, so when people can, in a post-pandemic world, get together and actually connect with each other. Sooner rather than later, we'll be moving over to the new space. Eric can give more of an update on when that will happen a little bit later if he wants. But with that, we'll keep moving on. Since you're not here to hear me speak, you're here to hear our presenters. Quick shout out for our Slack. That's another really great way to connect with our community. I'll provide that link into the chat for those online, but the link is madeina2.com/Slack. So for those who are new, the format tonight is we'll have 5 minutes for our presenters to present. There'll be 5 minutes of Q&A. For those who are in the room, your questions will be repeated by the presenter, so then those online can hear it. And then any questions that come through the chat, I'll just read them out loud myself, and then the presenter will answer those. So they have 5 minutes to present, 5 minutes for Q&A. And then afterwards, for those who are here, feel free to hang out and just mingle for a bit. Those who are online, I'm going to open up some break room for you guys. And then you guys can connect over there as well. And so with that, I'm going to wrap things up on my side by thanking our sponsors. I've already mentioned Forum for hosting us here. I want to also thank A2 Geeks, Roger Rail, Ann Arbor Spark, the Entrepreneurship Clinic at U of M's Law School. So before I hand it over to our first presenter, let's find out who they are. First we have up is James Harvey of Barhopper. After that, we have Harik Clack of Taza Aya. And then lastly, we'll have Tyler Crook of VIM Crypto. So we'll bring up our first presenter tonight. So we got Jim Harvey of Barhopper. Barhopper partners with bar owners to allow the user up to the second information about what is going on inside every bar around them. So let's give a round of applause for Jim.
walk around this? I'm a walker. All right, Barhopper, the Barhopper app solves a problem that has been around since 1681. That was the year that the second bar was opened in the United States, giving people a choice of where to go to next. Every night, tens of thousands of people go out to bars and nightclubs, and like they've done for hundreds of years, they go from bar to bar, most time not knowing what's at the next bar or why they're going to it. Barhopper solves that problem. It's kind of takes the guesswork out of bar hopping. Barhopper is the first and only app that partners with the bars to provide the user with the up to the second information of what's going on inside every bar around them. Okay, so we're using 4 categories to search right now. First, we have services. We have free Wi-Fi, Keno, happy hour, kitchen open late, food, no cover. Entertainment, we have karaoke, live music, piano bar, trivia, jukebox, DJ, radio music, no music, and bingo, which was brought by Ann Arbor. I had to add that category for Ann Arbor. Sports and games, we have pool table, darts, video games, TVs, 1 to 5, 6 or more, cornhole, board games, foosball. And then finally, atmosphere, we have dancing, rooftop bar, water view, patio or deck, LGBTQ, pet-friendly, kid-friendly, brewery, sports bar, on the water, winery, or distillery, which are for Traverse City. Basically, the other feature we have is that we add, Barhopper puts a live streaming video camera inside every bar to allow the user information in real time what's going on inside every bar right when they look at it. 2 other useful features of Barhopper. One is if you have your location services on, you walk in, the bar or check-in feature recognizes that, sends an alert to your phone, says, looks like you're walking into the Blue Leprechaun. Do you want to check in? You can say no or just forget about it and you won't be checked in. However, if you say yes, it gives you the choice, 2 questions, says, are you single or not single? Male or not, or male or female? And you have a choice not to answer. So the information is then put on that bar's homepage. When you walk out, if you checked in, it automatically checks you out of the bar and also says you want to take a quick survey. Right now we're using for beta testing in Traverse City, and we're using a 0 to 10 Likert scale. Just kind of says, you know, right now it's like were the pour strong, was the staff friendly, was the bar clean, and your overall experience. So let's see how it works. Okay, so the app is all on one page. You open your app and you pick what you want. I use food, kitchen open late, patio or deck. We use, then you can pick the distance you want. Our distance can look a little wonky in the next page because I did it from Traverse City, but you pick 1 mile, 2 mile, 5 miles, whatever distance you're willing to travel to the next bar. Here are our choices in Ann Arbor. We have Good Time Charlie's, Brown Jug, Garage Bar, and Blue Leprechaun. Now, this search was done on a Friday. If it was done on a Wednesday, it would look like that. Why? Because Good Time Charlie's doesn't offer kitchen open late past 11 o'clock on Wednesdays, only Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So bar hoppers will have the information that's current for what's going on. Okay, so we'll go back now. We're going to add bingo to our search. Go back and this is 3 different days. If you did the search for the 4 criteria there, and you did it on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you get the screen on the left. There's no one in Ann Arbor has bingo on those days, so you would come up with nothing. The middle one there is a search on Sunday because Blue Leprechaun offers all those plus bingo on a Sunday, and the one on the right is Good Time Charlie's, and they offer that on a Tuesday. So depending on the day you're searching for it, you'll find out what bars have. Okay, let's go back to our original search. We clicked on Brown Jug. On the right side of the screen there, you'll see that's the bar's homepage. You can see the distance. Again, it's just not really 318 miles from us, it's from Traverse City. The address, phone number, their hours. On the bottom, it has no reviews, but you will see the reviews that people have left. 4 single females checked and 20 males. Let's check the live stream. All right. So this is supposed to be the video of the inside the bar. We'll see it's not working right now, so it's still a shot. So we're gonna back out and let's go try Good Time Charlie's instead. 20 single females checked in and 2 males checked in. Let's watch their live stream and see what's going on there. And again, this is going to be a live streaming video that the presentations, the video is not working, but this will show you what's going on. So, okay, bar owners, they control this with an app. It's super simple. It takes them 2 seconds. Our reps in the area are going to set every bar up initially. The bar owner opens their app, and basically this is what Blue Leprechaun is. There's no change in atmosphere or services. They have dancing, patio deck, everything 7 days a week. So no change there, same as sports. But on the right side, you'll see that they have different categories added. So on Monday, they have karaoke. Tuesday, they have trivia. Down on Sunday, they have bingo. So if they wanted, a bar owner wanted to add, like say live music on Thursday, they'd open the app in 3 seconds, boom, click live music, and everybody bar hopping that night is going to realize that they have live music. Okay, final feature of the bar or of the app is it's called promotions. My favorite part, there's a tab on there that once an hour, we're going to allow the bars to put 1 or 2 sentences on a promotions tab. And so it's basically meant to control the flow of traffic at any given time in a bar. So basically, you look out at a Friday at 6 o'clock and it's kind of a ghost town out there. They can add a promotion that says 25% off groups of 8 or more. Anybody bar hopping and hits the promotion tab, picks their distance they're going to look. We'll see Blue Leprechaun. Hey, the promotion just down the street, 1.2 miles is going to have a discount for us. Maybe 2 hours later, they look out and there's a bunch of guys in there and no women. So they say, add this one. Ladies night, half off drinks for all the ladies. So kind of change the flow of the bar, get more ladies in the bar. And see that promotion goes so well, they have to add this final one. In A2NewTech, guys drink free. That's it. How to do? Time-wise. All right, any questions? You want to do audience first, or? Yes, sir. Great question. The question is, with the video of the bar, is there a way to tell how long the line is? One of the things we're going to have, we're in beta testing. There's a lot of add-on features. That's going to be one of the categories that the bar is going to let you know. They're going to let you know how long the line is. That's one of the categories they're going to be able to have. But we're going to work with the bars to put the camera. So, that's one of the features that bars really don't want you to know about. So we do have no cover charge, but we can't really tell you. It's up to the bars to let you know if they want to give that information. They're going to want to advertise on promotions. They'll say, hey, no line, and you'll be able to find it there. So great question. Anybody else in the audience? Yes, sir. Main payback, great question. One, it's going to bring people off their couches because there's a check-in feature that's going to be off the beta that you would check in. You're going to say, hey, Bob checked into your friend list. Is going to know that you checked into a bar if you want them to know. So like, there's so many times I sit at home, like I don't want to drink alone, and I'll be able to see where my friends are if they want me to, and go out and join them. But the biggest payback is, I'll go into Chicago a few months ago. And I want to play darts. I went to 20 bars, couldn't find a dartboard. So bars can be able to accentuate the features they have. And so one of the functions, there's some paid functions. One of those is going to be, we're going to sell analytics back to the bars. So once we get enough users, we're going to sell analytics to the bars. Like, on Monday night, if they're dead, well, we're going to sell you analytics. Hey, guess what? 30 people look for trivia in your area. We're going to put bars in touch with what their customers want. Great question. Question is, for a place with live music, might there be a way to stream a sample? No, the videos are going to be live. They're not going to record anything. They're just going to show what's going on there. You'll be able to see who's playing, but there's not going to be any audio. No. I think no one wants to see a band at home and drink. The bars are not going to like that. So. Question, what's the ask? Not a whole lot, really. What I'm looking for as we scale, basically we're testing in Traverse City next month for our beta. We're going to go live in Ann Arbor, East Lansing, Detroit, and Grand Rapids in the fall. I need a local person that wants a career, a full-time job, that just going to be able to go around and sell us to the bars and keep them happy. And then I'm going to need some more. I have one software developer. I'm not a software guy or a developer. We're going to probably need a whole team as we scale. We're looking to go nationwide, eventually worldwide. I think conservatively, this is a $3 to $5 billion app. Yes, sir. How do you make money? The best question. Okay, well, first, there's 5 ways. I'll probably be real quick. First one, premium placement like Google. You do a search and there's 20 bars. The first 5 are going to be paid advertisements. 2, we're going to sell analytics back to the bar once we get enough users so they can see what people are looking for and offer those services. 3, the promotions I just talked about, where they can put a promotion once an hour. That's going to be a paid feature. The 4th is the most exciting, I think. It's like a promotion, but it's going to be like a push notification. every bar user, Barhopper user that has their notification services on, if they're out, we're going to promise no more than 3 an hour. A bar can look out, basically same thing. Say, we're going to send a push notification. You're guaranteed no more than 3 an hour. It comes to your phone. They're going to buy a code, maybe $10, $20, $50 in Las Vegas. If you're one of 3 bars in Las Vegas that can throw out an advertisement at 10 o'clock on a Friday, it might be worth $10,000. They make $1 million a night out there. So the 5th way is advertising. I'm trying to keep off the advertising, but last year, Google did 200 billion in advertising, Meta did 110 billion, Amazon did 31 billion. My goal is when you first open the app, have a 3 seconds where one ad, Budweiser, King of Beers, Captain Morgan, drink responsibly. One ad, I'm gonna sell that space for $1 billion a year. Budweiser has a $15 billion a year budget, but they spend $1 billion for every person in the United States or the world that is going to drink sees that ad. To me, it's the purest form of advertisement. I want a beer, or I'm going to drink. Budweiser, King of Beers. Those are the 5 ways. And I'll talk more about it after. I know I'm really quick here, but I'm being timed. All right, thanks, guys.
Our next presenter is actually virtual. So we're going to do a little audio setup here after a bit, after I give him the introduction. But it's Harvey Clack of Taza Aya. Taza Aya uses patented technology licensed from the University of Michigan to neutralize airborne pathogens such as SARS, which caused COVID-19, influenza, etc. So let's give Harvey a round of applause, and then we'll get the audio and visual set up.
Okay, are we good on audio and video? Great. All right, yeah. I'm Harvey Clack. I'm a co-founder of Taza Aya, and our focus is on providing respiratory protection in this new age of COVID and other airborne infectious pathogens. So the problem is that, early in the pandemic, we had mask mandates where the objective was both to protect yourself and to protect others around you. But as we well know, mask mandates are now all but gone, even as cases actually are rebounding. And so the focus for a subpopulation of people is really one-way masking. So protecting themselves, because we cannot rely on governmental mandates or the goodwill of others to wear masks in public. The challenge is, in addition to protecting yourself, is the fact that masks, of course, as we all, again, well know, are annoying to wear. They interfere with breathing, they interfere with communication, and you absolutely cannot protect yourself from airborne pathogens while eating or drinking, okay? And then, in the right here, lower right here, we have other annoyances, like for those who wear glasses, wearing a mask causes the glasses to fog. So this is the problem that we at Taza Aya are trying to solve. And we think we're onto something, if for no other reason than 2 really large players recently announced their own products in this space, this next-gen respiratory protection. So the advanced mask on the left there is the offering by Honeywell, and on the lower right there is the offering by Dyson. So if there's any question about whether COVID is over and we're done with masks, that we're going back to the way things were, I think these 2 entries into the marketplace suggest otherwise. And so for Taza Aya, there's a technology is IP that we've licensed from the University of Michigan. You can see a rendering there. It's a visor that has 2 modules on either side of the head that contain a non-thermal plasma. And so these modules draw in ambient outside air and then direct that sterilized air into a curtain of air that encircles the face of the wearer. And so in that way, there is protection against the wearer inhaling airborne pathogens that may be around them without presenting a barrier to the face, without impeding eating or drinking, communication, viewing facial expressions, all of those things that are problematic with conventional masks, a plasma-enabled visor would overcome. And so you can see here, we have we've got a prototype there, early stage prototype where you can see visually the effect of the air curtain coming down in front of the face and how it blocks the penetration of smoke wand, the smoke produced by a smoke wand, into the breathing zone of the wearer. And so really, that's it. That is the pitch. We're really young. We're a really young startup. And so we know that we are, too early for most types of, even pre-seed investment. So really what we're trying to do now is we're trying to refine the target market, right? So when we're thinking about people who in this stage of the pandemic don't feel comfortable relying on the goodness of others for their protection, we're thinking about those who are immunocompromised, either because of disease or because of therapies. We think of those that are at particularly high risk for COVID complications. That is, if you are obese, if you have diabetes, if you have asthma, all right? So these are people who, even as mask mandates go away, these are people who likely would still engage in one-way masking, but would like to do so without giving up all of the pleasant aspects of having a social life, the ability to go out to eat, go out to drink, and be able to communicate clearly with people out in public. So the question for the assembled audience is, do you know anyone who would be interested in a product like this? Do you know anyone in particular who would be interested in talking to us to better understand what types of features they would be interested in having, what types of performance they would look for, and of course, what pricing they would be open to. And so with that, I'll stop and I'll take your questions or receive your feedback. Okay, so what is low power plasma, Roger asked. So low power plasma is to distinguish the plasma application that we have here from more conventional plasma applications. So plasmas are not new, right? So plasmas have been used for chemical transformation in the same way that you have, chemical reactors, or you have refineries that convert chemical feedstock that's coming in into a product that's going out. Plasmas have been used for chemical transformations for decades. The key distinction is that plasmas used for chemical transformation have always had the problem of being energy hogs. They require really high energy in order to complete that chemical reaction. And so the advance that we've achieved through the work that was done at University of Michigan is that we've demonstrated that for biological applications, when you want to kill a bacterium or inactivate a virus, you actually need 1 to 3 orders of magnitude lower energy to achieve the same percent efficiency. So if you were looking at a 90% completion of a chemical reaction, you could get, say, a 90% inactivation of a virus with 10 to 1,000 times lower energy consumption. And so that's what we mean by low energy plasma. And that has benefits beyond the obvious, which would be, okay, well, battery life for this wearable product. Thanks for your question. Let's see. So there's a question from Chaim. What is the cost for consumer and the effectiveness of the Air visor? So both of these are questions that we are working. I can tell you that the proposed cost for those two products that would be our competition, and I'll emphasize the fact that those are two products that provide advanced respiratory protection, but they do so while still blocking your mouth. You still can't eat or drink. Those products are priced on the order of several $100s, a couple of $100 to $200. So we would likely be in price competition with those two. The effectiveness of the Air visor, the Air curtain, is what we're measuring right now. But the key thing to remember is that airborne pathogens they have no capacity to propel themselves. They have no capacity to penetrate a barrier. So there's this kind of this question comes up a lot about, well, how do you know that you're keeping the virus from reaching your your breathing zone? It's like the virus is like lint in the air, and so that air curtain provides the momentum to deflect an airborne pathogen the same way that it would deflect a snowflake or a piece of lint or a grain of pollen from reaching your breathing zone. Another question, thanks for your question. Michael asks, is this the first or second presentation? Is this recorded so I can watch later? Hi, I think it is recorded, and this is the second presentation. And then Roger asked, when might you have a working model for testing? So for sure, we already have, as you saw, like a basic air curtain that, as far as the wearer is concerned, as far as the user is concerned, their user experience is going to be all about, feeling that air curtain or not feeling that air curtain as it flows down in front of their face. So for sure, we do not want the air curtain blowing into someone's face. That's not a pleasant experience. The idea is to encircle the face with the air curtain so that viruses and bacteria that are floating in the air cannot drift into that breathing zone. And so for a user experience perspective, we have a basic prototype right now. We're working our way on miniaturizing the plasma module that fit into the size of something like a headset, so that we can then integrate that plasma disinfection module into the visor. And so most of the work we're doing now is in miniaturizing that plasma module. Thanks for the question, Roger. Hein says, are there any replacement parts like filters or other types of respiratory protective products? So we will have an activated carbon filter to remove ozone, residual ozone. One of the other advantages of low power plasma is that ozone concentration that is produced by a plasma scales exponentially with the power that you input. And so for us to be able to operate at a very low power region means that we're producing exponentially lower ozone and can remove it using inexpensive, lightweight ozone filters, all of the sort that you likely have at home in your laser printer, likely have in your office in your photocopier. So removing ozone from air streams is not new science. We've been doing it for a couple of decades to prevent ozone from building up indoors, ozone that's produced by home electronics. Would this product work against allergens like pollen? So the answer is yes, but on a different mechanism. So one of the challenges, and feel free to cut me off as I know I'm going over time, one of the challenges with airborne viruses is that viruses are like hundreds of nanometers in size. And so the reason that it's been so difficult to wear a mask and get protected from a virus is because you have to have a mask made of material that has a smaller spacing than the size of that virus. So for hundreds of nanometer diameter virus, you have a mask that is really highly impermeable. It's hard to breathe through. It blocks the virus from getting in, but as I like to say when I teach an air quality engineering class, the particles can't get through, but then the air can't get through either. Those two things go together. And so for allergens, or even for bacteria, that when you go to larger and larger sizes, really the smarter way to go, instead of trying to inactivate a bacterium or trying to inactivate a kernel of pollen, is to charge that particle and then collect it using Coulombic forces, right? So this device basically applies the smarter approach based on particle size. For the very smallest particles like viruses, they're hard to remove from an airstream. But they're easy to kill or inactivate. So we use a plasma for inactivation. For pollen grain, that's going to be like 5 microns in size, they're easy to filter out, right? So we could filter them out with a physical barrier. We could filter them out by the charge that's engendered by the plasma, and then getting that pollen to stick to the inner surfaces of the plasma module. So it's like a sliding scale using the right air sterilization technique based on particle size. Thanks for the question. All right. Thanks for your attention. I look forward to talking to you guys later on in the breakout sessions.
All right, Harry, thank you so much for sharing the AirVisor with everybody today at Taza Ayat. It was very cool to kind of see the product and what you're doing there. And we'll move on to our last presenter tonight, Tyler Crook of VIM Crypto. VIM Crypto offers institutional grade custody, yield, and business integration services, streamlining capital deployment, security, and operations in the high growth blockchain and cryptocurrency asset class. So welcome Tyler to the stage.
All right, we got a good looking crowd here. Okay, so I'm Tyler Crook, and I have to give this intro, but I've got the best last name for a finance guy, and I just got to leave that one out there. Okay, so I think we've got the presentation coming up right now, but while he does that, as a preface, I'm sure everybody has heard of Bitcoin, but more broadly speaking, digital assets and blockchain are an emerging asset class that have wide-reaching applications from financial systems, custody systems, supply chains, marketing, really any sort of technology infrastructure today. Blockchain and digital assets layer on value on top of the power of the internet. So it is an emerging asset class that we are trying to solve specific problems for specific customers within that emerging technology. So the problem that we've identified is that the large cryptocurrency exchanges, infrastructure providers, traditional financial institutions are not strategically focused on small businesses, private capital, and middle market institutions, as well as startups and other people that are trying to develop in the space. And there are a number of reasons for that, and I'll keep it simple, but essentially the global scale of these large companies introduce compliance and regulatory issues. They offer generic services as a function of those regulatory restrictions, and they have large cost structures and red tape that keep them from innovating and iterating for small businesses, private capital, and middle market institutions. So with that in mind, we have developed VIM Crypto. I have a background in private equity, investment banking. I partner with small businesses on a daily basis, and we've identified that our constituents that I work with on a daily basis are interested in crypto, they're interested in blockchain, they just don't know how to access it. So we've developed a platform and are developing services on top of that platform in order to introduce the power of blockchain and digital assets to our target market. That includes critical infrastructure, business services solutions, ongoing monitoring support. As you can imagine, these are high value targets for hackers and the like. And we offer development solutions to help integrate into existing businesses. Ooh, that is a sticky button. Okay. So the way to think about VIM is a digital asset platform similar to Carta or AWS in QuickBooks. We generate revenue through recurring services and yield, as well as kind of service fees when we bridge the various constituents and the blockchains together. We offer competitive fees, lower spread than the large guys. We have institutional grade security and infrastructure. So you get the level of service that you would get with these large players designed for your business. We offer developer services for private capital, similar to Carta, and small business services such as payment integration and other process solutions that have a digital asset flavor. The customer, like I said, private capital. So this can be high net worth, this can be family offices, small business, so retail, business services, middle market institutions, including venture capital, private equity, and family offices, like I said. The roadmap. Today, we have our core infrastructure, we have our service. We're iterating on our platform, figuring out new go-to-market strategies, new services that are value add to our target customers. we're looking for, as a call to action, we're looking for developer partners. We're looking for strategic capital partners to guide us from an equity perspective as we go to market and build this platform. And the raise. So we're targeting in equity capital about 500,000, as well as from a starting perspective, about 2 million for deposits onto our platform. So we've raised about 15% of that, and are flexible in terms of our capital raise to meet the needs and kind of risk parameters of our strategic partners as well as our customers. So that is VIM. We're excited about what we're doing, and we're looking for partners to learn, grow, and win. Thank you. I will take questions. Uh-oh, the crickets. Paul. Yeah. So I think just kind of using the first pillar of our go-to-market customer or our target customer is private capital. As you can imagine, there are a lot of high net worth individuals. There are older folks that want to make an allocation into the space, but lack the knowledge in order to figure out the infrastructure. So we basically package all of the infrastructure you would need to make an investment in the space and make it as seamless as possible without being a fund. So we are not raising a private equity or venture capital or a hedge fund. We're simply providing the infrastructure in order for private capital and institutions to access that industry seamlessly, securely, and confidently. Well, so a little bit of both. So we provide the custody solution. We link it in with brokerage accounts. So at the larger places, we have nodes and yield services. We're also developing, they're called developer incentives, which link developers with emerging projects. And we also are developing payment integration and other services for small businesses, for instance. No, that's a good question. So I would say, like I said, our target audience is probably private capital right now. There are plenty of funds and family offices that are looking to outsource some of the intellectual capital that it takes to access digital assets. So there are family offices that don't have a dedicated technical IT digital assets person, but they want to make an investment. So we allow them to outsource the security, transaction policies, custody, in order to access those digital assets. Kind of our next step is to introduce small business services to the answer I gave Paul, payment integration, business process design that integrates into retail and business service companies. No, I think that's a good point. And the question was, why would they use us instead of a Grayscale or an ETF or a Coinbase? One, you're going to pay a higher spread, right? So on a Grayscale, on a ETF, you're going to pay a larger spread. You're going to pay higher fees. Specifically, those larger players like the Coinbases, like the Block Daemons, like the Fireblocks of the world, they cannot stitch those services together like we can. So Fireblock, you'll have to go to 3 different places in order to get the same level of service that we provide all in one. And the reason we can do that is because we are laser focused on private capital and small businesses instead of having a large global footprint that handcuffs you from customizing your services for these institutions, for these family offices, for private capital, and for small businesses. Right. So our revenue structure is recurring fee based. So if you sign up for a node, which generates yield on Ethereum or really any other blockchain, we take a cut and a fee on top of that recurring yield. If we produce a service for you, either connecting you with blockchain developers or using our own platform services, we'll charge a fee for that, much like Postmates would charge for providing their service, basically. So we have, I would say, 75% of our minimum viable product. We've launched our service. We've deployed 300K into our service as a proof of concept. The next step in that is to develop a top dashboard or front-facing client interface that stitches those together, stitches the APIs of our infrastructure providers together. We've gotten quotes for that. We're bootstrapping our current infrastructure footprint, and we have the wherewithal to do that and execute. I think that the next point past our MVP would be looking to in-house some of the developer services that we need to engage more thoroughly with blockchain developers and the like.
I think that's time for questions. So everybody, round of applause.
Thank you, everyone.
Let's give one last round of applause for our presenters tonight. They all did really great. So with that, we're going to open things up for community announcements. This is a portion where you are hosting a meetup, or if you're looking to hire, since there are a couple entrepreneurs in here, feel free to come up onto the stage and announce whatever it is that you have going on. I will monitor the chat to see if there's anything going on there. But are there any community announcements? Looks like Paul's coming up. Kick things off.
Hi, I'm Paul Henchy with the New Enterprise Forum. If you're interested in startups in Ann Arbor and the local region, you should know about our organization and our monthly events. This event is, we're always the next 2 days later, the third Thursday of the month, and we have our first in-person meeting in a couple of years. Is going to be happening just a mile from here at Ann Arbor Spark on Liberty Street on Thursday evening at 5 o'clock. We're going to have a great speaker, a successful entrepreneur, and lots of opportunities for networking. So you can go to newenterpriseforum.org to pre-register and come over and have a beer with me on Thursday.
Any other announcements? Any F1 is great. I always have fun going to those. I'm looking forward to going to the live one again. I am monitoring the online here. Jim over here.
Hi, I'm John Speidel with Forum. The building you're in is owned by Forum, and our company is number 4, letter M. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the fact that now that the world is coming back to virtual meetings being an option versus a requirement, our business is a great place for people to stay who are traveling in groups or who are in Ann Arbor for an event, for a short work assignment away from wherever their home is or their headquarters. And this building was built with co-working and co-living in mind. So if you are hosting a group or know of a group that's coming to Ann Arbor for anywhere from 2 nights to a month or 2, keep us in mind. You can find us online at www.theforum15, which is the 4M15, which stands for the 15-minute neighborhood.com. And anyone can book a room, a suite with us at that address. Thanks a bunch.
Any other announcements? Okay, well, with that, then I wanted to thank everybody for coming tonight. Really appreciate it and supporting our entrepreneurs here. If you're interested in presenting or somebody who should present, have them reach out to me. That'd be awesome. Always looking out for new presenters. And with that, what we'll do is if you have some time, feel free to hang out. I think the presenters here will hang out for a little bit to answer any questions you may have and just to chat. And for those who are online, I'm going to open up a couple chat rooms and let you guys connect there for a bit. Our next A2NewTech, I always forget to do this to double check to see when the next one is. I can tell you it's in June. It's June 21st. So we'll be here again, and hopefully after a couple more months, we'll be over at the new community hub. 2 more months, cool. All right, so thank you everybody again for coming to A2NewTech tonight.